Hangburg, predominantly fishing community, which is situated in Hout Bay. Now, Hangburg, Hout Bay itself has got a history of being a place, first of all, from Jan van Riebeeck's time, the 1600s, for being a place of wood supplies, right, for ships and wagons and all those things. And from that time it developed into farming, especially dairy farming, agriculture, and subsequently it developed into a fishing village. There's minimal farming still going on. People are busy reviving some of the agricultural farming initiatives that used to be here back in the day. The area that we're looking at now is the area where people have built so-called illegally on the fire break at the back of the stormwater channel that runs down here, and these people have been issued with court evictions, and just a few weeks ago they've in the middle of the night been arrested, kicked and beaten and arrested by the police and taken to court, and they have to actually take down those particular so-called illegal structures. And Hout Bay is like one of those old-fashioned villages where everyone is interrelated and families expand within Hout Bay.
Well, welcome everyone to our first attempt at looking at community-based theatre, theatre for conflict transformation, theatre of the oppressed, playback theatre, forum theatre. I'm giving you a number of names already because hopefully today in the 2 hours that we have, we're going to look at all these different techniques in a nutshell. Yeah. So the idea is really to test a little bit this very unique, very wonderful approach that I've been blessed to work with for the last 8 or 9 years in different parts of the world. I'm deeply convinced it's one of the most powerful methodologies out there in terms of community mobilization, community participation, but also from the perspective of a rehumanization of ourselves, of the people that surround us, of our communities, through the arts. I'm Yalman. I'm originally from Bolivia and from Germany, and I'm a community-based theater practitioner that works mainly with two techniques. One called the theater of the oppressed, invented in the Brazil of the 1970s, and the second methodology that I focus on is what's called playback theater. Both methodologies aim at creating spaces for communities to come together and use the theater to analyze, look at important community issues. In the case of the theater of the oppressed, the goal is to use different theatrical techniques, games and exercises to analyze community issues and problems and try to identify and try out alternatives for change. So it's a very forward-looking methodology that tries to create a space where communities can self-empower in the search for a positive transformation of their community issues. Now that we're more specifically talking about theater, maybe in a word or two, if you have any theater experience.
Hi, I'm Danielle Marco and I'm a matriculant.
Hi, Donovan van der Heijden. I'm into community development.
Hi, I'm Tony Jantjies. I'm involved with the Khoisan community.
My name is Colin October and I'm from Radio Kaapsepunt in Cape Town.
My name is Vanessa Lorewijk. I'm staying in Oudtshoorn.
My name is Kanaday.
I'm Justin Masamula. I form part of a dance project called Jikaleza.
Hi, I'm Leslie Jansen from National Justice.
Hi, I'm Chris Price, Rwanda Bosch Boys High.
So there is a lot of experience in the room. If not in the field of theater, then certainly in other art forms. And that's a really wonderful thing, because one thing that we do try to do with this methodology is to bring all of these art forms into the same space, into the same realm, because ultimately what we're talking about is a community-led endeavor that needs to make space for all these different artistic expressions to come out. One thing that is important to know before we start playing is, after each and every exercise, I will ask 2 questions. So I would like you to play these games and exercises with these 2 questions in mind. Yeah. And the first question is a very personal one. And it is really only what you yourself discovered during the exercise about yourself. The second question is always a collective one. It is a community-based question. And when we do theater of the oppressed, we try to problematize always. Yeah, we really try to focus on the problems in order to step by step start identifying potential solutions. And before we start, just maybe one or two quick rules with regards to the work. Generally, this methodology is done with non-actors, people who never thought of themselves as actors or actresses, people who have perhaps a little bit scared even of this. So the basic rules that we have is ultimately that all the participation is voluntary. Yeah. Sometimes you'll be invited to do things on your own, to perhaps come into the middle on your own, and that sometimes can be very daunting. If you're in a group of people, people might not feel confident to do that, and that's okay. We do not force people to do things that they're not willing to do. However, we do encourage them to push their own boundaries a little bit. I will pass around a clap. Yeah? And the way it works is I'll pass it to the right, and we have to clap at the same time. So basically the way it works is, exactly, now you pass it to Donovan, exactly. So you always receive and you pass on, exactly. But now let's do this a little bit faster. Now you know how it works. We go as fast as possible. Okay. And faster, even faster, good, good, good.
My feeling is that you must feel when the clap is coming to you and wait in anticipation, also bearing in mind that somebody else is waiting for the clap. So if you take a long time to deliver the service, then somebody else is not going to get the clap.
I'm kind of connected because the clap must be going to keep the rhythm going, so everyone has to participate and you are in a way connected to each other in a way.
From a country perspective, just in a nutshell, in a word or two, what are some of the things the Khoisan people in this country are waiting for, you think?
The most important things is recognition of the Khoisan as an actual people, as an important part of South African or African culture and identity, that African identity.
Within the Khoisan movement, there's lots of claps, but I'm finding they're struggling to get a common rhythm. But everybody's wanting that clap to go, but it's just how to get that united rhythm.
From a music perspective, some of the claps were loud and some of the claps were like soft. So I would say in a harmonic way for us to grow together as one people, we must get to the same level of sound.
Prior 94, there wasn't Khoisan issues been evolving. Now it's just coming up and people let them know now, although in which manner also they say it. Alder Skief of Krom, they say, no, we are Khoisan people, we want to be part of this country. Give us an opportunity.
Natural Justice last year November entered into a formal memorandum of agreement with the National Khoisan Council. And we looked at what it is we're able to offer as a team of environmental lawyers, because we noticed the great inequality in how they're negotiating with the South African government for 18 years but nothing on the table, and they've been doing that with no support. So we said we will offer our legal support to them and also develop a vision document that can actually help be a center point to dialogue for the Khoisan movement in South Africa, so that people actually understand what is it that the Khoisan people want, not just based on slogans, but based on actually what the law says, what international standards says pertaining indigenous people, and also what are actual practical opportunities and what's the actual baseline data around the social realities that these people are facing. And so we said we will actually put a document together that can be presented to Parliament ultimately, and that will hopefully influence legislation. And then in that process, hopefully it can be some way people understand what they want, stakeholders know where to come into the conversation, and hopefully it can help draw the movement to some sort of center point. So as a start, we've brought in Hjalmar, who uses this creative methodology. We don't have to deal with bureaucracy, formalities and language, just step into a creative way with daily realities that they face, where they can actually comment on that and give a voice to what they feel is possible. And from that, we're hoping to document that and say that it's not just us coming together, this did not happen haphazardly, but we actually used a methodology that's been used internationally to actually give a voice for oppressed people, to inform a vision document for this community.
So the way it works is I will ask the two of you, simultaneously to stand next to each other like this. Okay? When I clap, the two of you will speak from your character, from your character as the officer, as the employee, and you will speak to us, the audience, and sell us your case. In the sense of, I've been working for this company for 15 years. I've done overtime. I have, accepted a cut and sell it. I have 5 children to feed. I deserve, you sell us your case why you deserve that promotion. And you sell us your case why, you would love to, of course, but you can't, So just for 20 seconds, speak to us, not simultaneously, it doesn't really matter what the other says, just sell your case. And when you hear me say go, we go straight into the scene.
I'm here today. I would like to hear from you why I am not being promoted. I've been in this organization for more than 25 years. Other people have been promoted, and I'm still struggling to get promoted. I want valid reasons. If this promotion is not taking place, I'm taking the correctional services to the court. Can you explain to me what is the reason why I can't get promoted?
Mr. Yankees, I'm a little bit confused now because firstly you applied, your application went through a normal interview process, you were graded, we were a fully representative panel, and in terms of the panel, you did qualify, you complied with all the requirements for the position. Unfortunately, we are redressing the wrongs of our history, of our past.
I'm a Khoisan person, and I want to be promoted like any other person has been promoted.
Is that something that we know exists here in South Africa?
Someone ordinary that has been promoted to a leadership position, and all of a sudden they think the world revolves around them, and they push issues from their perspective and often forget who they're representing and who put them into power.
How can somebody like her become more, or allow herself to be more human and humane towards the people that she will have to deal with?
I can relate to the officer because many people now are identifying with the indigenous identity.
Yeah.
And the public service is just not geared for this.
Yeah.
So they don't know how to respond because obviously it's not in the law.
Yeah.
Their perspective is your colors. And it's so where does it leave them?
Lieutenant.
Deputy Director.
Oh, sorry, Deputy Director. Lieutenant last week.
I'm good at my job.
All right. Yeah, I'm sure you're aware I applied for a promotion. I'm just here to find out what's happening.
You considered your application. You definitely comply with what's needed to be appointed. Unfortunately, we need to meet certain national targets in terms of affirmative action, and we're applying the national demographics in that regard.
You know my situation as well. I've been here now for 25 years. I've been doing a good job, am I? I'm sure you're aware I'm doing a good job. I've been through the processes, and I think it's my turn for promotion now.
Mr. October, I sympathize with your position. Unfortunately, it's the law. There's nothing I can do. The best I can do is we do have some other positions within the Eastern Cape, or if you're interested, that we can consider. But within the Western Cape provinces, unfortunately, there's no positions for people labeled colored.
As an African, I won my promotion. I'm also a non-white, and I won my promotion, and I'm not leaving here without my promotion. I want to speak to your superior.
I cannot give any position on the Khoisans right now, unfortunately.
In that case, I need to go see somebody higher than you. Thank you for your time.
But the Eastern Cape is still there.
Many people are acting for the first time, or for the first time in many, many years. But there are a lot of positive feedback in terms of wanting more, realizing how powerful a tool this methodology is, and how hopefully both forum theatre and playback theatre can make a real contribution to Khoisan people all over South Africa.